The lounge to the ER was empty, and we only had 2 emergencies across the whole day. The first being when a Glailia fractured his intramuscular skeletal structure in his locomotion appendage, tail. The second was when a blood sac got ruptured, which would usually be a severe case, but the hole was only the size of a pinprick, and was in their lower sac responsible for only their reproductive organs. It was quite amusing finding out how they got that injury. For privacy reasons I will only say this: something that shouldn't be where it was went a little too far a little too quickly. However, other than that, it was a calm, easy day, working as the ER receptionist. But this tranquility was soon ruined by a family of Rakir, hurriedly scuttling in on their 6 exoskeletal legs. The father was holding a young male pupae who was limp, with his arm spasming like a clock, stuck on 2 a.m., repeatedly jerking up and falling back down. It had a purple hue of bruising, and when the father turned him forward to present the injury to me, I recoiled with grotesque and horror. Now, I'm no stranger to horrific injuries, but this was unique, because never before had I seen such a bite mark. There were gashes from slicing incisors, clearly for ripping flesh, and deep indentations from immensely powerful flat chewing teeth for grinding up tough plants. But that wasn't the worst part. It was the corroding necrosis of the flesh that was infecting the entire arm, and nearly disguising the horrible bite mark that was obviously the cause of this whole shit show. I immediately requested for a nurse with a tourniquet, and started inquiring the family on what happened. The mother was the one who spoke up, and started telling the story of how she was in the Hollow Park, with the rest of the family and a bunch of others, all of different species. There to welcome the new addition to the neighborhood, a family of humans, the newly discovered species from a class 80 out of 100 death world. We had heard the rumors about how dangerous and exotic they are, she said, but we are part of an inclusive and welcoming community, and decided to ignore those rumors and see what they are like for ourselves by hosting a welcome meetup. Of course, they were well-mannered, and equally as friendly back to us, enjoying talking to all of their new neighbors, and their children were amazing to watch as they agilely climbed, swung and crawled through the park. This confirmed some of the rumors about their dangers, but dismissed most of the others for us adults. But our children needed to learn from experience, and so were initially reluctant from joining the human infants, but with some encouragement they went ahead. Some came back annoyed because they kept on getting tagged by the humans, and were unable to do so back, saying their DNA is like a cheat code. So in other words, everything was going fine, the Rakir mother said. Having not gotten anything useful out of her, I politely encouraged her to go on, avoiding panicking her further. She continues, saying, "So since our children were getting frustrated playing fair, thinking the humans were cheating, they decided to win at all cost, and so ganged up around the youngest human child, a female, and hid my son behind themselves, so that when they finally pushed the human to the corner of the park, my son, who was tagged, jumped out from behind them and tagged the human. Little did we know that humans have a biological fear of multi-limbed insectoids, and when my son went to tag the human girl, she bit him." Upon hearing this, I was filled with dread, because I had recently undergone my training in education in human biology, as part of a mandatory curriculum update when a new species is discovered. Human bites are the most destructive of any sapient in the known galaxy. Not the most lethal, thankfully. But because of the sheer amount of advanced corrosive bacteria in the digestive system, a bite from them is like getting eaten alive inside an invisible jaw that slowly erodes away the afflicted area. Of course, now knowing this, I requested a bacteriologist and sent the family through. I was a bit shaken up, but was reasonably calm, because I knew that the young Rakir would be fine. He came just in time, and at worst his arm would be amputated, which isn't a big deal, as Rakir regrow their limbs throughout their life cycle. However, the boy might have to get used to only having one arm for his adolescent years.